Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to write your letter of explanation. Now, if you see me looking down in my phone, it's because I'm just looking at my notes that I have here so I don't miss anything. Okay, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. By the way, these are just my little pimples that I put my cream on. It's nothing serious. Okay, so before we jump into the tips, please remember that it's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. You can tweak, you can adjust, you can add, you can take off. It's up to you. It's based on your situation, and so you will fix your letter of explanation to match your situation. Also, this is how I wrote mine. So if you did yours another way, you can leave a comment, or if you want to do it another way, that's perfectly fine. As I said, feel free to edit the information. You don't have to use it exactly as mine. Okay, so the first point is it is a letter, and so you would treat it just as you would treat a regular letter, a formal letter. Now, you want to have your address, and I think that I put it, so I put it on the left side of my page. That is my address, and then their address. That is the address for the High Commission. So my address, their address, and then you put the date. After that, you want to put, well, I put attention, and it's the visa officer. Then below that, I put the subject, which is application for Canadian study permit. So you can go ahead. If you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to do it that way. That's how I did mine. Now, let's jump into the body of the letter. So you want to put your points in paragraphs. You don't want to jumble everything. You put them in paragraphs. So the first point for me in my first paragraph is to say why I'm writing this letter. Why am I writing you? The first thing you want to write is that you have recently been accepted to this university, where in Canada it's located, the program that you want to do, how long is the program, and when when you will begin your studies. So you want to put all of that in your first paragraph. You want to be as detailed as possible. Remember, you are not there to speak for yourself. Your letter will have to speak for you, and so you don't want to miss anything from the letter. So after you write the purpose of the letter, then you let them know that you will attach your acceptance letter that the school provided you in your application or with your application, as well as all the supporting documents that you may have. After that, you move to your next paragraph, which is to talk a little about your qualifications and your work experiences. And I like to start from the recent first, and then I move to the older ones. So you just give a brief little thing about yourself, as in where you studied, the certification that you received, where you're working now if it is that you're working, and where you used to work. Remember, do not put too much irrelevant information. Just keep it as simple as possible. You don't want to go over 2 pages because, frankly, who's going to sit and go through all of that? You know, so keep it as simple but to the point as possible. The next thing you're going to talk about is why are you pursuing this particular degree or certification? Probably it is that you see a gap in your country or in your workplace that you would love to get certified in this area in order to help to fill that gap. Whatever your situation is, you write. Remember to let them know why you are studying this. That's just an example. Of course, you're going to have your reason as to why you are pursuing this degree. If you don't have a reason, just Google some reasons and use the one that you think suits your need, okay? Next point is, why did you choose this university and why Canada? You have to let them know. Why this university? There are so many universities in Canada. Why did you choose this one in this province? And why did you choose Canada? Why didn't you choose the US? Why didn't you choose somewhere else? So you now have to decide why you want to come here. Probably it's cheaper. Probably you have family members in Canada. Probably you have visited Canada before and so you feel more comfortable studying here. Just make up something. Or if it is genuine and you know that this is your reason for wanting to come here, then that is fine. If you do not know why you want to come here, then baby, Google some reasons and use the right one. You know, just choose one. But you want to let them know why you chose Canada and why you chose this particular university or this province. You want to write a little about that. The next point is, explain in detail your money situation as it relates to your bank statement. Now, you want to be careful because you know that you're supposed to have your 10,000 Canadian dollars plus your first year tuition. Be very careful. Do not say you have the money and it is not being reflected on your bank statement. Everything needs to match. Okay? So if you know you have $20,000 in your bank account, do not say you have $30,000. Everything should match. Everything that you say, you should be able to back up, basically. So be careful with that. Explaining the money that you have, what I did is I said that I have, for example, $20,000. $10,000 is, of course, the mandatory amount that you're supposed to have. And you want to break it down. The other 10,000, 5,000 is for your tuition, $3,000 for your accommodation for the first 4 months, or, you know, just break it down for them to see that you do have the money and this is what it is for. So it's not just that you have $20,000, but what is it for? That's what I did. I wrote down my money for them to see that this is the purpose for this and this and this. If you did not do it like that and you got through, thumbs up. If you want to take this advice, I did it, I got through. A lot of persons will tell you, I didn't do it this way, I didn't do it that way, and I still got through. Okay, as I said before, everybody's situation is different. And as long as you are able to explain, then you are good to go. These are just some tips. You do not have to use all of them. You do not have to use it in the order that I stated. You can go ahead and do it however you are comfortable using it. But just ensure that you have the pertinent information that you should have. Because whether your situation is this or this, you know that there are a few things that must be in your letter of explanation, regardless of who you are, regardless of your situation. You should have those. So you can just watch this video, get those tips, and you can take what you want from it, or if you want to use it as is, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so after you have written all of the above, the next thing that you want to do is ensure that you emphasize or reiterate the fact that you are going to return to your home country after your studies. So I know that it's a bit silly, but they want to know that you are gonna return to your home country. So you have to let them know that at the end of your studies, you are gonna return to your home country where you'll be sharing all this information that you garnered in Canada with your workplace, with your family members, with interested persons. You want to let them know that you do not plan to stay. Yeah, so throughout your letter, you can, in different paragraphs, you can let them know that you are going to share it. As I said earlier, the purpose is to fill a gap in your workplace. So clearly you are going to return home so that you can contribute to filling this gap, or you can go ahead and implement whatever strategies or ideas that you would have received during your studies in Canada. You're going to go home and you're going to take those to your workplace, to your country. You know, you're going to use them. So you want to indirectly, you want to hint then at returning home in the body of your letter, but ensure that at the end of your letter, you restate the fact that you are going to return to your home country. You got to let them know. Now, people, if you are applying like me without your partner, so you put that you are applying alone, please be careful that you do not mention too much about your partner. Because if you're talking about your partner and you love your partner so much, why are you leaving your partner? You get what I'm saying? So be careful not to mention anything about partner. I was deliberate in not mentioning anything about partner because in my head, I'm thinking like them, and I would ask, so if you love your spouse that much, why don't you take your spouse with you? Why are you applying alone? You know? However, if you're applying together, then you know that you're free to mention that your spouse does this work and this is the money that your spouse is working per month. And so you are more than able to fund your education. But if you are not applying with your spouse, please be careful not to mention too much about your spouse. Please be careful that in explaining your situation, you do not over-explain and raise flags. You know, keep it as simple as possible. Because sometimes we tend to, you know, let them know that we have a lot of money and we are rich. Okay, so if you have a lot of money, why are you leaving your assets? Why, you know, you don't want to raise those flags. So just be careful when you are writing your letter of explanation, and those are the general points that you should have. However, if your situation is unique, ensure that you explain anything else in your letter. Explain what is there to explain. So for example, like me, I explained to them that the time that I have to leave to start my studies, I will work some more money. I'll be getting some money before I leave because I'll be working a few months before I come to Canada, and so I will get some more money. You can also let them know that you have your assets, but like I said, be careful not to over-explain and then you raise red flags. So these are just my little tips. If you did anything different, if you have any other tips for the folks, drop them in the comment. I'm sure they would appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to comment the videos that you want to see. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.